Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Uncomfortably Candid podcast. This week, with it being the new year, I wanted to do an episode on goals and resolutions. But while I was thinking about what I wanted to say, I realized that I go about this very differently than I did a few years ago. And so I came up with a few tips and tools that I use when setting goals and that I use when coaching my clients as well that increase rest while decreasing striving and the pressure to accomplish and achieve things to feel worthy. And this is not to say that having goals, wanting to achieve things is bad. It's just I've learned the hard way that there's a healthy and an unhealthy way of doing this. And I want to help you and my clients hopefully learn this quicker and easier than I did. And I love dreaming with the Lord. I love accomplishing things. And so it's why I became a coach, because I want to help people get from point A to point B. I want to help my clients get from point A to point B, and that typically involves helping them achieve their goals. And so this is not to say that you want shouldn't have resolutions. It's just finding the balance between having doing this in a healthy way. So number one is know your why. Every time I set a goal, I sit down and ask myself why I even want to achieve this goal in the first place. And if it involves anything that is, oh, I want to please this person, or oh, because this is what everybody else is doing, or society says that that this is the way that it should be done, then I ask myself the question, how is accomplishing this thing going to help me become the person that I want to be? And if I can't answer that question, then I ask myself if I even should have this goal in the first place. And it doesn't have to be this long, drawn out reason. It can be to have fun or to challenge myself. I want to run a marathon. But the more that I was intentional about asking myself why, the more I realized that the person, this was going to help me accomplish growing as a person, because it was going to help me become more disciplined, and it challenged me to step outside of my comfort zone. And so that is where I found the reason for my why. Number two, or the next tool, is know your capacity. We are all human with limited time and limited energy. And before pursuing a goal, when you set a goal, you need to realize, or you need to ask yourself, do I even have the time to dedicate to pursuing this goal? And if that means doing a time audit of your day or of your week before you start creating habits to achieve a goal, then you should do that. And to see if there's time, or if you need to rearrange your schedule or put something on the back burner. I just had to push my marathon date from this month to after I defend my dissertation, because that is more of a priority because that date is quickly approaching and I want to graduate. So you have to understand that time changes in seasons. And I realize that I've run my half marathon. It's not the season for me to continue running long runs because I don't have the time or the mental capacity to do that while also needing that time and mental capacity to write my dissertation. And goals can be revised. And it took me forever to realize that just because I redirect or I revise my goal doesn't mean I'm quitting or doesn't mean I'm a failure. And so it just means that seasons change and we change, and that's inevitable and it's okay. And the last thing or the last tool is to incorporate your strengths in your goals. And I know I just talked about step like that my goal for achieving a marathon was challenging me to step outside my comfort zone, but if every goal challenges you to step outside your comfort zone, then there's probably going to be some striving, and striving leads to burnout. And so it not only when you incorporate things that you're naturally good at and naturally talented in within your goals, it not only makes it easier, but it makes it more enjoyable. So those are the tools that I use for myself when setting goals and that I use with my clients when they tell me that they have a certain goal in mind. I ask them to ask themselves why, to evaluate their capacity, and to incorporate their strengths into their goals. And if you have any questions, or if you need accountability, or if you need help in doing this, I would be happy to help. So I hope you all have a happy new year. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.